dinner and I've decided to make chili cheeseburger macaroni. This is something that I grew up on, but my parents made it out of a box, which I love. But today I'm gonna make it from scratch. And the ingredients that you need are things that you have in your pantry already, so why not make it from scratch? Okay guys, here's everything that you'll need for this recipe. First and foremost, you'll need a pound of ground beef. And I didn't want to show you guys raw ground beef, so it's already in the pan browning up. You'll need about 1.5 cups of cheddar. All I have on hand is Colby Jack, so that's what I used. You'll need 1.5 cups of elbow macaroni. If you have, ZT, penne, if you have different types of pasta in your pantry instead, just use that. The spices that you'll need, and again, I'm making chili mac, so I have chili powder in mine. So, yep, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of paprika, and then a half teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, baby. I have a cup of chicken stock. I have 6 tablespoons of dry milk powder. Again, I'm using dry milk powder because I am almost out of milk and I have this on hand. So if you're using dry milk powder, use what would be equivalent of 2 cups of milk. If you don't have milk powder, I'm sure you can just use water. And you'll also need a tablespoon of cornstarch. So this is it, guys. If you keep spices in your pantry, I'm sure you'll have everything that you need to make this dish. And then let's say you don't have a few of these things. If you don't have paprika, if you don't have chili, I'm sure you can just leave those items out and you'll still make a great cheeseburger macaroni. Alrighty, let's take you over to the stove. Okay, so all I'm doing now is browning my meat. And once it's fully cooked and browned all the way, I will dump in the rest of my ingredients. Okay, so it is all browned. One thing I want to add is that I did actually season the meat with a little bit of salt and pepper. It just helps to layer the flavors a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is add my liquid. So that's 1 cup of chicken broth. And I used some chicken bouillon base, so there's still some base in there. And then of course my milk, and that's just the 2 cups of water plus my milk powder. And I'm just going to stir that around a little bit. Make sure it's all combined. And then from there, I am going to add my flavor packet. So that's all of this. Plus the tablespoon of cornstarch, which needs to come out of the bowl. Okay, so now that that's all added, let me just make sure everything combines and dissolves. You're now going to add your pasta, and then you're going to bring that to a boil. So I am going to tend to a little one really quick while I'm bringing this to a boil, and then I will bring you back when it's time to do the very last step. Okay, so once your dish comes to a boil, you want to lower it and bring it to a simmer, and then you're going to cover it and let it simmer for about 12 minutes, stirring it from time to time. So I just wanted to show you what the dish looks like after it's been simmering for a little bit. You can see some of the water has kind of absorbed into the pasta. The pasta pieces are getting bigger, so it's looking really wonderful. So I'm going to keep cooking this until the pasta is tender, or almost tender, and then I'm going to add the cheese. Okay, now it's time to add the cheese. Mix that around. And let that melt and mix with all the meat and the pasta. And I didn't stress it enough in the beginning while I was browning the beef, but it's really, really important to season your beef as well. And I just used some salt and pepper, and that just makes sure every single bite of your dish has flavor, or ensures that every single bite has flavor. So the cheese is nicely melting, and because I use a Colby Jack, it's kind of stretching the cheese. See the little strands of cheese stretching. But that's it, guys. This is it. So now that you have the cheese all in, if your pasta still is a little firmer than you'd like, then you would just cover it and let the pasta cook a little bit more until it reaches your desired tenderness. And then after that, you would uncover your dish and let it stand for a few minutes, and then the sauce will thicken and it'll just be ooey gooey, cheesy, yummy. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, and then I am gonna serve it up to my family. All right, here it is, guys. Looks just like the cheeseburger macaroni of my childhood. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing to you guys, but here it is up close. You can serve it with a salad. All growing up, I probably had it with kimchi. I am half Korean, so we had kimchi with everything. Let me take a bite of it for everybody. Okay. Tastes just like cheeseburger macaroni. And again, this is definitely things that you have in your pantry already, so you can customize it to what you like. The world is your oyster. You do you. So we were gonna now sit down and have this for dinner. I hope you try this recipe, and if you like it, please let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye.